During his address at the United Nations General Assembly on Saturday, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov underscored the Kremlin's firm stance against Western nations, revealing a clear lack of interest in pursuing a meaningful resolution to the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. Lavrov articulated his disapproval by stating, "I refuse to engage in discussions about the futility and peril associated with the notion of achieving victory against a nuclear power, namely Russia." Earlier in the week, Russian President Vladimir Putin made headlines by updating his government's nuclear strategy. This adjustment appears to be a strategic maneuver aimed at dissuading Western nations from easing their restrictions on Ukraine, particularly regarding the provision of long-range weaponry capable of striking deep within Russian territory. Lavrov was dismissive of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's proposed 10-point peace initiative, labeling it as doomed. He asserted that any resolution to the conflict hinges on addressing what Moscow perceives as the fundamental causes of the crisis, a stance that reflects Russia's unwillingness to compromise or engage in genuine dialogue. In addition to the remarks about Ukraine, Lavrov took the opportunity to reiterate grievances against NATO, Washington, London, and the European Union. His speech coincided with the announcement from Lebanese Hezbollah regarding the death of their leader, Hassan Nasrallah, following a series of targeted Israeli airstrikes in Beirut. In light of this, Lavrov expressed his deep concern over the increasingly frequent occurrences of political assassinations, highlighting the incident in Beirut as a troubling example. At a subsequent press conference, Lavrov voiced apprehensions about the potential for a broader regional conflict. There are many who speculate that Israel is attempting to create conditions that would directly involve the United States, he remarked. He suggested that Israel is trying to provoke reactions from Iran and Hezbollah, noting that the Iranian leadership has exhibited a degree of responsibility amid escalating tensions. In the broader context of the Ukraine conflict, it is important to note that in February 2022, Russia and China declared a no-limits partnership, just days before President Putin initiated the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The United States has consistently accused China of providing support to Russia in its military endeavors. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken highlighted this concern during a high-level UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine, stating, "China, another permanent member of this council, is the leading supplier of machine tools, microelectronics, and various other items that Russia relies on to replenish and bolster its military capabilities." In response, Beijing has publicly refuted these allegations and has sought to distance itself from the Kremlin's actions in Ukraine. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi emphasized during the General Assembly that the priority should be to avoid expanding the battlefield, escalating hostilities, or provoking any party involved. He called for immediate de-escalation and expressed China's commitment to playing a constructive role in facilitating peace. On the sidelines of the annual UN meetings, China, alongside Brazil, introduced an initiative dubbed the Group of Friends for Peace, aimed at addressing the conflict in Ukraine. This coalition includes several countries from the Global South, reflecting China's aspirations to be recognized as a key player on the global stage. Wang Yi articulated a vision for international relations that advocates for a more democratic approach, declaring, "The era when a select few major powers dictate global affairs is over. We must promote a fair and orderly multipolar world where every country, regardless of its size, has a rightful place and role in the global system." Furthermore, Wang called for full United Nations membership for the Palestinians and reinforced the necessity of implementing a viable two-state solution. There must not be any delay in achieving a comprehensive ceasefire, as the fundamental resolution lies within the two-state framework, he stated. Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi posed a poignant question to the Assembly, challenging the credibility of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's claims that Israel yearns for peace. She pointed out the contradiction between Netanyahu's statements and the recent aggressive airstrikes on Beirut, urging, "We must halt this cycle of violence." It is imperative that we pressure Israel to return to a diplomatic approach that favors a two-state solution, a sentiment that was met with widespread applause. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister, Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, also weighed in, expressing concern over regional stability in light of the escalating tensions in Lebanon. He called upon all parties to exercise wisdom and restraint to prevent the outbreak of a wider conflict in the region.